dangy day, dang dang diggy diggy dangy day, diggy ding diggy diggy dangy day, dang dang diggy diggy dangy day, diggy ding diggy diggy dangy day, dang dang diggy diggy dangy day, ding ding diggy diggy dangy day. Oh Lord, well, make it a date. Honey, don't be late. Throw all your worries away. Forget all the housework. Put on your best makeup. We gonna wind back the clock. So get up and sweat, sweat, sweat. How will you get wet, wet, wet? I'm 1 2 step, 1 2 step, 1 2 step, 1 2 step. It's a different vibe for your silhouette. 1 2 step, 1 2 step, 1 2 step. I'm ready to dance with you. Staccato, olegato, butter stain and in Scarborough. Dance a kind of step 1 2, nice and slow. Let's go. 1 step to the left, 1 step to the right. Now kick out your foot, turn and bust a wide. 1 step to the left, 1 step to the right. Now kick out your foot, turn and make the thing nice. Don't put me diesel inside my vehicle. We could party all night like we is big people. Don't tell the neighbor, show a eye on me place. Cause me and me lover have waistline to sheet. So let we sweat, sweat, sweat. How will you get wet, wet, wet? I'm 1 2 step, 1 2 step, 1 2 step, 1 2 step. It's a different vibe for your silhouette. 1 2 step, 1 2 step, 1 2 step. I'm ready to dance with you. Staccato, olegato, San Fernando to Lekoto. Dance a kind of step 1 2, nice and slow. Ready? Let's go. 1 step to the left, 1 step to the right. Now kick out your foot, turn and bust a wide. 1 step to the left, 1 step to the right. Now kick out your foot, turn and make the thing nice.
Ziggy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. Nice. First and foremost, welcome to AlonzoBash show. Thanks for taking time out your busy schedule. You know he's a busy man.
Yeah.
So I just want to say give thanks, man. And of course, we just saw your brand new track that you just released.
Yeah, on Friday.
On Friday. So we're definitely going to get into that. All right, let's start from the top, man. Let's start from the beginning. So you're born and raised, or you're from Carnage. I know, I don't know the born and raised part, but I'm guessing born and raised Carnage.
Born and raised in Carnage, yeah.
All right. So as a youth growing up in Carnage, tell us a little bit about how it was as a youth growing up in Carnage. Because Carnage is like a small village, as far as I can remember. Because I'm from Marima side.
Yeah, Fisherman Village
on the west. Yeah, Fisherman Town.
Yeah, man. Growing up, I mean, at times very different from how times are now. Yeah. It was more a close-knit community where parents know everybody children know everybody parents. They could go by somebody, eat up food, they could go and spend the day, somebody go watch the child. Nobody can do any wrong on the road because Mr. So-and-so passing, so we can't use obscene language and that's the era we come from. So strictly football, taking sea baths. Yeah. And well, for me, entertainment was always a big part of Carnage upbringing, either being a DJ, a mic man, or somebody who could hold the mic and freestyle and do something. So so I was more into the sports and the music.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned to you, this interview, or most of my interviews are usually like 45 minutes to an hour, simply because as you know, my background is in radio, and a lot of times when you're doing radio interviews, you're pretty much kind of rushed. Is that a promotion thing? You know? So I really wanted to kind of go deep dive with
take your time.
Right, with individuals and really give people opportunity to kind of share their background. So you mentioned you were a DJ. Now that's something I never knew.
No, I never used to DJ. We always used to be liming with the DJs in those times.
Okay.
I had a big up a guy named Jungi all the time from since school days. Well, in my era, it was more dancehall. Shabba Ranks and Cutty Ranks. You know, these guys. For we, we were more influenced by the reggae dancehall scene. So we used to perfect our skills. In those days, you go buy a DJ and you make a cassette. You carry a 60-minute cassette.
Your TDKs.
Your TDKs. And you used to pay, how much you used to pay? Well, $20 or something. And the DJ just run rhythms and everybody in the room and we just singing. So we were always, the DJs are Carnage and the, how to call us, boy? The little entertainers in Carnage were always close.
Yeah. What's some of the names of people that we may know that came out of Carnage?
We have Maximus Dan, who is now MX Prime.
Yes,
we have Denise Belfort. We have Jam Melody.
Okay.
We have Jungi. He's go by the name of, he went back to the name of Jungi Ranks.
Okay.
We have, who else we have, boy? I think that is about it. You know, we have a lot more, but they're not coming to my head. Men like Sally Rankin, who migrated to the States. But we had a good entertainers that came out of Carnage.
Yeah, that's a talent. So your school days, what school you attended?
St. James Secondary. Well, first Rosary Boys, RC.
Okay,
and then and St. James Secondary. Yeah.
Okay. So what were the school days for you? Like what? Because most of the time, them early days, a lot of us around that time, like you said, dancehall was big.
Yeah.
This was like back late 80s.
Late 80s.
Right.
Well, Rosary Boys was a disciplined school, so you didn't have none of that. When you're in school, it's left turn, right turn, stand at ease. Rosary Boys was real disciplined. But out of Rosary, when you're going to secondary school and you hit form 2 and you start mingling with the youths and interacting, it was more beating the desk. The desk and men coming up with rhymes. And remember back in the days too, men used to beatbox. So I remember a lot of beatboxing competitions in the classes. We have it like one north versus one central, you know. That's kind of nice. But friendly battles, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Good old days, man.
Yeah, good old days.
So when did you discover, like, you know what, I really good at this thing, you know, I could compose sentences very well. And we're gonna talk about the voice too, you know?
Yeah, well, I guess
at what age you discover, like, you know what, I think I have it, you know.
Let me say about 13, 14, and I always had a big up Carnage for the encouragement, you know, going up on the stage and getting that support from your peers. And I mean, it's different now because, I mean, if you're singing nonsense, your peers used to tell you, hey, go back again and come again. We didn't know yes men back in the days, and anything they sing, and they like, no. You had to come good or don't come at all. So because the people on the block would let you know. So I had to get that raw upbringing and support from Carnage. So when I get the approval from them, it was good for me. And when I really got the approval was, you know, my mother and my father didn't really, you know, back in those days, singing is not a career. You know what I mean? They used to be saying, boy, we hear your son singing up by the junction, and I used to get buff until my mother and father said, well, it's too much people coming and telling me, you're good at this thing, so you have to be good at this thing. So they give me the encouragement from there. But mostly big up Carnage, the community of Carnage. For real.
Yeah, for real. All right. So you said junior secondary school, that's the time you really kind of start chanting and stuff.
Yeah.
When was your first professional, like, you know, in studio, like you get a chance to go to a studio and put on, you know, a track?
Yeah, well, back in the days, boy, I'm gonna tell you, well, we had to big up Ajala for that one.
Yeah.
Big up Ajala. We had gotten a reputation because the underground, you know, it was not accepted on radio. In Trinidad and Tobago, is either you sing calypso, you sing soca, and that's it.
Yeah.
You wasn't supposed to sing anything else. So underground, when you're home or you're by the DJs or you're on a block and you're chanting, we developed the talent. Even Maximus was in this too, where we could freestyle. So we used to go to different communities. So we might go Cocorit freestyle, we might go Lavantil freestyle, and I gained the reputation of being a good freestyler.
Yeah.
So what used to happen is people used to have songs. They used to call me into the studio, give me like a $80 TT.
Yeah.
What I used to do is just listen to your song and then fill it in.
Okay.
So Ajala was the biggest break for me because he heard about it and he called me. And then back in those days, getting a phone call from Ajala was, mind blowing as a youth. And he was like, I needed to come to this studio and record a song. I have a song I wanted to record, and if you're able. And I was like, of course.
Yeah.
I ain't take no money, anything, because Ajala was the big man. And the song at that time was called Sonani.
Yeah, Sonani. Big tune.
Yeah. So that was my first major going into like a big mainstream studio, and vibes in on the song, and Sonani was born. And that song I was about 16 or 17 years old.
Wow. Wow.
So big up Ajala for that each and every time, man.
Yeah, big up the Ajala, man, legend. So what was the studio that you did that track in?
Oh my gosh, brother man, I can't. Oh my
gosh. Remember?
Bell, what's his name, boy? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. And we were so good back in the days, as many years ago, man.
Yeah.
I remember, I really can't remember.
Right. All right, so you did that first track with Ajala. And what came after that?
After Ajala, what happened after Ajala? We tried a couple things. I get blocked by the door. It is in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, well, listen, one of the things that what I'm looking for, one of the taglines for the show is real people, real conversations.
Yeah.
So we not here to throw nobody under the bus and bad talk nobody.
Yeah,
so we want like I said, stories. We want to hear the
story.
Because you're that man, it's a very test of time, man. You've been in the game a long time.
Yeah.
I know that man has stories.
Yeah. People who know me know the kind of man I am. I believe in moving forward.
Yeah.
But at the time where they call the mafia was a different set of people. And if you're stepping into this zone, not just in music, in any other industry, I just want to make that clear. When they feel threatened by you, they pop the steel door. So it's either you conform or you can't come in the gate. And I was always a man. When anybody hear me singing and performing, I always say God is the boss, because I believe firmly in that, and I believe strongly that we are the disciples, the shepherds, the musicians are powerful people of God. Yeah. So at the end of the day, whatever he planned and what he pleased to do with me and my talents, that is how it's supposed to go. I was always like that from way back in the days.
Yeah.
So I get blocked by the door.
Yeah.
I was working Nip Deck at the time. My parents said, that's after the Ajala song, Boss and all. It was like, son, if you're really interested in doing this thing, that's something named SATs. Study. Go and do your SATs, apply for a college. If you go away, you could study anything you want to study. That's before UTT and all these other institutions had programs available in Trinidad and Tobago, before you had to fly out.
Yeah.
So, I did the SATs. I got accepted into Queensborough.
Okay.
And I did a bachelor's in music technology. And while I was in New York, when you have to go to your internship, you have to do the practical before they get a degree. So they send us out to different studios. And while in one of these studios, this is long stories, while in one of these studios,
we had the time.
when you have to get a degree and they send you out to these studios, and you thinking you go and sit down behind the big board, use all your practice that they teach you in school, is not that. You know what I mean? I had to be going for coffee for clients. I had to be sweeping the studio, cleaning the studio, making sure the bathroom proper, and sitting in on sessions, taking in big sessions. And at the time I was sitting in on a session, and a lady was recording, and she was from Trinidad and Tobago. Her name is, never forget her name was Mandy, right?
Yeah.
She was recording a song, and then she was telling the boss, she was like, who's that handsome guy sit down behind there? You have a good looking guy. And he was like, oh yeah, easy help. He call himself Ziggy. That's the help, he's in turn.
Yeah.
She said, Ziggy? She said, Ziggy from Trinidad? He said, where from? I said, yeah, from Trinidad. What do you think? So when she said that now, the boss, he started laughing,
Yeah.
It was a big joke, and he laughed and he laughed. But remember back in the days, I tell you, the freestyle thing was always in us. That's how we come out.
Right.
So she was like, no, that guy to sing. She said, he will sing. And he laughed. And she said, no, give him up. I want him on my song. And youth man, you're sure? You say, you come to work for me. This is an internship. This is not a joke thing.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the end of it all, they give me a space in his song. I blew him away. And after that, he was like, youth man, you could stay back after your hours, after we close up, and you could do whatever you want to do in the studio.
Wow.
And for that, Miserable Life was born.
Big tune.
Yeah, producer and everything. And back in the days, I tell the youths and them, it's one take. We can't come out the studio and sing line by line and chorus, and then when I sang, me alone, I had to go in the studio, press record, voice myself, come back out. So, Miserable Life, Can't Face Me, was a couple other songs. And Can't Face Me was actually a song that bust me in New York. It was a soca tune. So that's where my music was revived, because I told myself after going to school, because of all the doors closing, I promised myself I would never sing again. I was like, that is it for singing. I'd rather stay behind the scenes and produce music. And as I said, that's just how God is work. So Miserable Life and Can't Face Me was born from that, and it just revived my spirits.
So your career is pretty much launched in the US then?
Yeah, well, so Nani is the one that really sing it in Trinidad. But as I say, when they realize it's a Trinidadian and are coming with more songs and it's the same fire, and I didn't want to be on anybody team. You know what I mean? I was young and I didn't want to be on anybody team. I just wanted to do music. The doors were closed on me, and New York was just the other avenue. You know what I mean? Because them days it was fresh.
So I'm gonna ask you this question, man. And of course, we have heard this many of times over the years about this so-called mafia. It's almost like the Illuminati. Does it really exist? Now I'm gonna ask you this, man. Does the soca mafia really exist, or is it just so happens that within that industry, because the soca industry is a little different to many other music, in my opinion. A lot of times you have about 3 to 5 people that really kind of have a say in how things is kind of to get to a certain level. Now it's a little different with social media, internet, and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but back in them times, like you say, does the soca mafia really exist?
Yeah, man.
How would you break it down? You say, it really exists.
It really exists because you had to be on a team. It depends on who team you're on. Remember, and you could break it down. You'd have a different team of producers that rock with a certain team. Well, once you're producing that studio, your song must play. Just different elements like that where you used to control it. So it would be hard for you to get rhythm from a certain clique. Right. Because you're not in that clique. And that's one of my downfalls because at the end of the day, people are the only one. The people on the ground is the only one that could break that chain. My mistake was having too much music. Right? Because the people, I was in demand so much that everybody wanted a collab. At one carnival season. So at that year, when you turn on your radio, I and all get sick of myself. You know what I mean? So that was one of the mistakes I made as a young artist to not.
You're flooding the market too much.
And because of that, it was easier for them the next year around to say, well, we tired here, Ziggy. So men who would custom send me rhythms. All of a sudden, all of that just, with no explanation, it just died down. Men just say, boy, like, we can't get Ziggy this rhythm. We can't get Ziggy this rhythm. Well, I mean, it's go. But at the end of the day, as I said before, my mindset is not to study, because in life we must have obstacles, and the greatest part is doing what you have to do and proving them wrong. When God says so is so. You know what I mean? But the mafia does exist, not like how it was before, because the youth have access to social media, the Instagram, the TikToks. You could send your thing viral. You could be a star. You could make yourself a star if you have the correct following. You know what I mean? So it kind of break down how that mafia was from before.
So the early days, were you involved with Studio 53 at all? With the
no. They just used to call me for things and how to play it, boy. I never consider myself a reggae all-star. Because I do everything. You know what I mean? Music is life is music. I love reggae, but I love my soca same way. You know what I mean? I love my Christmas music. If you give me a chance to do an R&B, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Because I learned back in the days that people used to how to put it, boy? Put themselves in a box.
Yeah, in a box. Yeah.
You go to say, well, that is a soca artist, and they do expect if you do anything else, they do expect that out of you, so they clamp you in a box.
Yeah.
After Miserable Life, I made it my duty to come out with something different. So that's when I did the Christmas rhythm.
Okay.
And then DJs and everybody was like, youth man, what you doing? You can't do that. If you're singing reggae, you have to stay. And I was like, so I broke that chain from early. But Studio 53 is a family of mine. Whenever they call upon me, I always there to represent them. But I was never in the camp.
Never
in that camp.
Yeah. So one of the things is I want to touch base on your voice. Have you ever
any noise outside there? You don't know.
Yeah. Is that as bad as before?
Yeah, they put in the yard outside.
Yeah. So your voice, man. Have you ever did you do professional training, so to speak, or this naturally that is a natural gift?
It's a natural gift, and I just try to perfect it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because back in the days it was real raw. Yeah. So I even now I try to refine it, do different things, little exercises by myself. Sometimes I come in the studio here, just put on a rhythm and just practice different vibes, different styles, different energies, because I believe if something is your craft, you have to take care of it, and you have to own it, and you have to perfect it. Nothing is perfection. Perfection is infinite. You know what I mean? So you have to keep on practicing and practicing, man.
Yeah. We definitely have that signature voice, man. I'm just gonna try and know how. But listen, once you say that, let me get a taste, man. Let me get a sample. Put in this what? Let me get a sample.
Whoa, no. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Listen. All right. So you got that. One thing I wanna back up a little bit. You mentioned you don't want to be boxed in as a soca artist or a reggae artist, and that is so true. Over the years, man, you can never say Ziggy is a soca artist. You can never say Ziggy is a reggae artist because the catalog is very diverse. And the thing about you is the fact that you can sing a soca song and your melody and stuff really don't change, but know it's soca.
Yeah.
You can sing a reggae and you may once I get a change, but it's And I remember one time I saw you. I think I told you before. I saw you at Tobago Jazz Festival a couple of years ago.
A couple of years.
Right. And you fit right in. I mean, with a jazz fest, and once again, your melody, your song is just so unique.
Yeah. As we say, a gift. Yeah, music is life. Life is music. One of the fun things I find myself doing now in performances, where some of my fellow artists getting vexed with me, is doing covers. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you evolve. My catalog so long already, but sometimes I like to remember the songs that, the good old days, the songs that I grew up on. So I might do a couple of Bob Marley's, or I might do a little R&B, and I get a little critique, but I have learned that from some of my Jamaican fellow artists. And when you're in a big concert forum, it is advised that you put a little one or two covers inside here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I now start to put that comfortably in some of my routines, because I've learned that. So, music is life, life is music. So it's not my music alone, but music that influenced me and sculpt me and grew me too.
Yeah, not only that, man. When you do a cover, a lot of people wouldn't recognize. You also introduce yourself. Even though you might be a concert, it might be Ziggy ranking in concert, right?
Yeah.
But you doing a cover, believe it or not, you actually expanding. You actually open up the platform for new fans.
Yeah.
Because somebody might go. Most people go to a concert with somebody. You see what I'm saying? They might say, "Yeah, go to this concert. You want to come? Whatever." Right? And they show up and they hear a song. They're like, "Wow, I didn't know." Or they might say, "Whoa, I didn't know Ziggy had that range." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, different things, different pros to covers. Now, you did spend some time in Jamaica, didn't you?
No, when I say that, I spent 3 weeks in Jamaica. One of the jazz festivals I went to, Uncle Beres was impressed.
Right, I remember. Yeah, I'm trying to get to that story. I can remember exactly the reference, but I know right, continue.
So he sent Drummy, as his drummer, he sent Drummy to talk to me backstage after, and he was like, interested in coming to Jamaica. And I was like, yeah, of course. Well, Father Beres wanted to come to Jamaica. I was like, Father, so who? Beres? He said, yeah. The only thing, well, I had to pay for my ticket. I had to go to Jamaica, or they would give me somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
And he would just give me a little, how you call it?
Stipend?
Mentorship.
Oh, mentorship.
Mentorship. So, I went to Jamaica for 3 weeks. When I landed in Jamaica, and they take me to Harmony House.
Yeah.
Funny enough, he was preparing to do a concert to come to Trinidad, like the next month.
Yeah.
So I was starstruck. I walked into the band room, and he put down some of his hits, and I couldn't speak. You know what I mean? And it was unbelievable to me, because you always think at that young age that, Jamaicans not really into reaching out to especially Trinidadian artists or any other artist.
Yeah.
And when he finished rehearsing, it was like he knew me for years. He was like, "You man, come here." He hugged me up, he sit down, he reasoned with me, just like any other normal human being. I mean, I met men like Jacko and different other artists there. And it was like a culture shock to me that they were so accepting. They used to call me Saudi, but they were so accepting because of the talent and willing to help me develop my skills and my writing skills as an artist. So that will always be a special place in my memory, that the way he reached out to me and helped me develop my skills and looking at different ways and wordings and structuring songs. You know what I mean? So I still use that up to today. Yeah. So when we was there, he have Harmony House, he have a big studio downstairs. That's like Beres Studio. And then upstairs we have miniature studios.
Yeah.
We used to go in the miniature studios. Every day you get up. I wasn't the only man there. You get up, you go inside, and your voice. You just spend the day voicing tunes, and then at the evening time, he come, he listen to your music, he critique the music, make a little thing, and everybody just, you know what I mean? And to me, that was so heartwarming, and it just gave me a new encouragement to believe that it have love in the music, you know what I mean? So, and that was many, many years ago. So big up Father Beres every time, boy.
Well, listen, man, not a lot of artists could say that. I've heard about Harmony House. You actually had to have some talent to actually go in there.
So I was shocked, but it was over the performance from the jazz festival.
Festival,
So you heard something, and he was like, "Yo, tell the youth man, come on down."
Yeah. And it kind of goes back to what we just talked about doing covers. You never know,
Never know. You never know.
All right, so we're gonna talk about some of your songs, man. Juve Morning, Everybody Tripping. How that whole song came about, man.
Juve Morning. For me, music is our vibes, right?
Yeah.
I don't write. I can't. I'm not saying that I can't write. My method is vibes.
So wait, you don't write a whole song now?
No, I've never written a song in my life. Everything
nah, man.
Miserable life.
Oh, man. Serious?
From before that coming up. Now, remember when I tell you how we grew up on the junction in Carenage, Frisco Junction and thing, and we singing, is you had to be with things on this spot. So if a man come at me, I had no time to sit down and think and write something. I had to watch the man. I didn't know what the man about, and I had to fire back one time.
Yeah.
And as you grow older, you realize that music is a very spiritual thing, and it have a vibes and an energy.
Yeah, true.
I just submerge myself in the energy, and it's easier for me to sing a line and realize, okay, this need to change. Maybe I need to change this word.
Yeah.
We're going way back. We're going back to Beres teachings again.
Yeah.
We're structuring the words, and it's easier for me to just go back in my mind and just change that line one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than write it down and then commit it to memory. It's easier for me to sing it repetitively and change things. So that's how it goes. So Love While You're Whining was one of those things. Cool send the rhythm for me. Big up Cool.
Yeah.
I put it on my headphones.
Yeah.
And that was it. That vibe was just like a whole Juve. You're behind a girl, you're behind a truck, and you just love how the ladies and them moving. Yeah. And Love While You're Whining was born. And funny enough, them days too, well, I know right up because of the Miserable Life.
Yeah.
But Miserable Life actually bust me back in Trinidad. I squeezed through the gate, so they squeezed under the gate, so they couldn't hold it back. Because the people say yes, so it was that.
Yeah.
But they try with the Love How You Whining because the year that I released Love How You Whining, nobody didn't play that song.
Serious?
For the whole carnival.
Wait, what year was this?
What year was that, boy? 2005?
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Nobody played the song. No
good.
DJs, no parties, no nothing. And then Hoppy, big up Hoppy.
Yeah.
Up after the carnival season, and Hoppy just like he fall in love with the song, and he just used to play that song right through the season. I mean, after carnival in Trinidad, it's back to dancehall, reggae, R&B.
Yeah.
He used to play that song, in the mix, and that song grew, and it grew, and it grew through the year, and then the next year, that was it. They couldn't stop the song.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So big up for Happy for that. But Love How You Whining never gonna play when I released that song.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy. To me, that's one of my personal favorites, man. I think honestly, when you hear Ziggy Ranking, I think that's probably one of the #1 song people can.
Of course, that's a classic, man. That's a classic, and I give God thanks for that because it's not easy to have a classic song in almost every genre, right? Because I mean, the reggae, the miserable life, that could never die because that carry me around the world. We had the Christmas rhythm, the sweetest wine. This girl, she got the sweetest wine. For 21 years now, anytime Christmas come, that rhythm must play.
And
then you have songs like Love How You Whining, Wine for Your Lover, and all these songs. So I give God thanks for those blessings, man. Yes, I.
You also had a big tune with Blazer Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
What did you guys' relationship was like? What was Blazer Dan? I've heard many stories about Blazer over the years. He wasn't easy,
Yeah, he wasn't easy.
A lot of talent.
That was my brother, regardless.
Yeah.
A talented youth. Once he for you, though, he for you. Once that's your family, he for you. Extremely talented young man. Who do you want? Is our next funny story, and this is how God is work. After he was released, because he was accused of murder.
Yeah.
After he came out, he was staying in Pity Valley. I mean, nobody was checking for the man, and that was still my brethren.
Yeah.
We went to he's a man used to love to cook. Wild meat, thing, man to the real bubble up and thing.
Yeah.
A day we live in, and he was like, boy, I mean, really, I'm trying to bring him back into the music now because he was turned off because So I bring my little laptop. I had a little rhythms on the laptop and thing, and we sit down. So while he cooking, we playing the rhythms, and he's like, "Hey, let me just bust a style." And who do you want? It's a freestyle.
Yeah.
That whole song is a freestyle song. It wasn't planned. It wasn't written. And I find the song was so bad. I went home and I mixed it and everything, and sent it to master and release it, and that was it. You know what I mean? So it was a natural. It was a natural vibes. That song was a natural vibes.
Yeah.
So we got Blazer every time.
Right. Some of your tracks over the years. Give me some of your. So after Sweetest Wine and stuff like that. What came after that? Because it was a mix. I feel like you had like a mix of like you would do soca, you do dance, reggae.
I used to flip it up, so I lost.
Yeah.
We have Leave It Alone. We have it's a lot, boy. We have another one going again.
Really quickly, in the beginning of the intro, we played a new song, but prior to that, I was saying to myself, because this what I did today is actually the first time I actually did it like this. I love the first today. So I was saying to myself, maybe I could do because I found one a Ziggy Ranking mix, with all the tunes.
Yeah,
man, it was like 10 minutes and still going. I was like, it would be fair to cut it in half, So I said, let's take a one video.
It's a lot of songs, and what is happening with me, the double-edged sword is because I don't write. Yeah. Sometimes I can't even remember the name of songs until I hear the rhythm come up. So not most times, but seldom, once in a blue moon, I might be performing. I'm a braid my chopper, man, and I might forget a verse. And that's where the freestyling thing is coming through. It has happened, but it's a lot of songs over the years, and I give God thanks for that, because I always say music is life.
Yeah.
Life is music. Once we live in, we never limited on topics and what we have to sing about, because a lot of us walking around going through the same things in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. I definitely attest to that, man. I always tell people all the time, we all living in the same cycle. You know, it's just everyone timing is different. You know,
different. Yeah. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
So to name, it's a good bit of songs. Even the soca. I mean, big up Blazer. I also had a big up Devon Matthews, also passed away.
Yes.
Me and Devon had bumpers together. That was one of my real favorites.
Quick story with Devon Matthews. We actually went to school together, Devon and I. Yeah, he was. I was a senior to him, but we were in cadets together. You know. And we were in cadets together. And I remember I live in the US, obviously. Yeah. And I remember hearing this name, Devon Matthews. I said, wait, nah. I know that name, you know. Devon. And then I look and I said, wait, nah. So I called it, I had his number. I said, wait, nah. I know it's you singing soca. He said, wait, what do you mean? You know why you sing? Like,
yeah, that was my brother, boy. Very, very talented youth, host. The ladies and them used to love that radio voice he had.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And and singing, that was my boy, but you know how it go.
That was a tough day when I got that news, actually. It was a Sunday morning, I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was in the midst of the season, and he had one of the biggest songs in the carnival, man, with Ella and Del.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, I.
So you had Devon Matthews. So what's is there a artist, and we're talking any genre here, that you would love to do a collab with?
It could be, as they asked me that question, it could be anybody with talent. I'm a fan of plenty artists. You know what I mean? Dwayne Stevenson, I had a song a couple years ago.
Okay.
Taurus Riley's a man we always talking, but it could never happen.
Yeah.
But a whole heap of artists, you know.
Yeah.
A whole heap of artists. And it could be any genre too, just to step out the box and experiment too. But as I say, and I say it over and over again, music is life. Life is music. I ain't limited myself to no artist. The only thing I don't do, you don't hear me singing those smart tunes, and you don't hear me cursing in those songs or disrespecting me. So if there's any artist not dealing with that, we good to go. We had to send a message, a positive message. Yeah.
But since you jump into that zone, that we touch base on that very quickly. So the last couple of years, of course, in Trinidad, they got the Trini Bad movement. What's your best way to phrase this? What's your
you're trying to be careful.
I'm trying to be fair, man. I'm trying to be fair, because they do have some really good artists, guys like Jalano, you know.
Yeah, of course.
That's some really
me and the youth's good.
Yeah.
When they used to ask the question, I used to tell them, just like ourselves when we were young, they must develop. Buju Banton is not the same Buju Banton when he now started.
Yeah.
Bounty Killer is not the same artist from when he started.
Yeah.
Usher and these guys are not the same artists from when they started. You're always mature.
Yeah.
You're growing up in the music. So I used to say these guys would mature. It have one or two of the guys out of that who really mature, and you see the difference in them.
Yeah.
Where they understand the music business. But most of them was just on hype and violence. And then even when I'm looking into the overseas with the rap with men like King Von and these other rappers, it started to get physical and violent, and the music not going anywhere. I mean, I see it happening here, and it has happened. So you can really say that TriniBad music is no more.
Yeah.
I mean, that genre, it rise and it has fallen. You know,
that's why I kind of paused, because I was asking the question, and just like you, I don't write down questions. You know, I like to have a vibes, right?
Yeah.
Conversation. That's how I've been doing it, and sometimes certain people might write down certain things I wouldn't forget, but I really don't. But and that's why I'll go back to what I was just asking you with the TriniBad. When TriniBad first came out with the Prince Swanee, and when it got to his rise, I would say, you know, it was doing fairly well, and then it started going left.
Yeah.
You know,
it started to go good, and the thing is, it could have been a lucrative business. You know what I mean? Because Jamaica knew about it, the US knew about it. The music was traveling, but then they just started to take the music too personal, and then Imagine you are artist, everybody know your song, and you can't even go out your front door to go to a venue to perform because you're putting your life at risk. So it makes no sense, you know what I mean? My daughter is called herself Princess or Trini Bad. She's a DJ. She's straight. She don't be on that. She don't link with any side. She and everybody good. She do, you know what I mean? And it's my daughter and I teach her these things that, you know, you have to be conscious of the things that you do and how you do it because people always looking. And if you associate yourself a certain way, then people will associate you with a group. Because I mean, myself and my brothers, Sasha, King David, Mr. King, we could walk anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could go beat them, we could go Indie Harp, we could go St. Paul Street and perform normal. Because what we stand for is love.
Yeah.
We know everybody, but all we just deal with is love. We don't pick no sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what music is. If you really understand it. And when we talk for the masses. You don't sing and speak for one group of people. It makes no sense to me. So they rise and they fall. They don't have any training again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah. So much talent, man. So much talent.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your new track that you just dropped. Yeah. When you dropped it a couple of days ago?
Friday.
Friday? Yeah.
Friday.
How that whole vibes came about? Because this song is a dancing song, obviously.
Yeah, it's a dancing song. Well, it was written for me. Big up Jonesy Music, big up Bajan Productions, as Kyle Phillips.
Okay.
Everybody keeps saying I do soca for maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, yo, you need to come back. We're missing the voice. Sing something now, do something. But I know I know how the things go.
Yeah.
This year, the amount of people that told me, I mean, last year coming into this year, 2024.
Yeah.
I told myself, all right, Corey, you know, everybody asking, whenever the people want something, even if it don't make how you want it to make, at least still put out something so that people can appreciate the music. And as I say that, I got a phone call, say, boom, we have a song for you. I try it out because nobody has ever written for me before. I tried it out. I like the vibes. I sing the song. I have a couple more songs in the bag because I'm not procrastinating this year. So I put my best foot forward again for 2025.
So was this the first track that you did that someone actually wrote for you?
Yeah. Actually, this is the first track I do that somebody wrote for me.
Wow,
that's a good point, though. I didn't even check that out.
Yeah, because I mean, I was thinking that right had to be really good. I mean, It didn't change anything. I mean, that song like you. That song like, you know what I mean?
We changed one or two things, but nothing to talk about. And for me too, I wanted to explore how to play it, boy. Just try something new.
Yeah.
Not just the same Ziggy vibes. I wanted to explore and go out there and try a new production, try a new flow. Put it like that. Try a new flow, a new melody, and them kind of thing. Just experimenting with the music, you know what I mean? But the main thing is making it your own. When somebody give you something, just like doing covers, you have to make it your own. So that was the challenge there, and it come out good.
Come on real good, man. I mean, I don't say that because you're here, you know. I'm saying, you know, but listen, the first time I heard it is when you told me about it in the beginning. And you know, I might like you. I know it's gonna be something good, so I wasn't too worried. That's okay. I say, okay.
So we have the 1-2-step challenge. No, you know, you could win a little prize as you speak. We started today actually. You just give me you just had a message my Instagram, or my TikTok. Send a video of your best.
What's the Instagram and TikTok?
Is at Ziggy Ranks.
Okay.
Yeah, both of them at Ziggy Ranks.
Yeah. And
just send your video, the best 1-2 moves. Yeah, you'll get. We have a prize for all you.
Okay.
We gotta bring back the dancing, the good vibes in these parties and these fests and thing, man.
Yeah, that's nice, man. That's nice.
Yeah.
So you also have your own production studio, am I correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Blue Room.
Blue Room. All right.
Yeah.
How that came about? You just realized, like, you know what? I need my own thing.
Yeah. Well, how Blue Room come about? I remember back in the years, I in this thing a good while.
Yeah. How many years, man? Let's put out there. How many years? At least 30.
Yeah, at least. At
Yeah,
least.
at least 30.
Back in the days, going to studios was a scene. When I say it's a scene, and I'm drawing how Jamaica changed my whole mindset too.
Yeah.
Long time when you go to a studio in Trinidad for the older artists, the veterans, all you'll know this.
Yeah.
We in a studio and we vibes in on the same rhythm, and a man come to voice, we're not welcome. Everybody had to leave. For that artist.
Wait, hold on. If you in the studio,
yeah,
you sit down, you get ready to do your thing, and a veteran walk in. Let's just call a veteran soca artist.
Marshall.
Right.
Marshall.
Marshall a different league. They call somebody else.
Yeah. Anybody.
Back in your time, them days, it's like, who was the big man? Besides, well, Marshall always been the big man.
Yeah, Marshall always there, man. Eddie Charles.
Eddie Charles walking. They call Eddie Charles. They call Eddie.
We have to leave. You have to leave the studio. Men didn't want to hear what they had on the rhythm or what song they had or what concept they had.
Wow.
And it always hit me a different way where I thought it had no love because all I believe music is, man. Back in the days when we are the junction and everybody singing, is a vibes and everybody feeding off each other. And that's how you get a good song. So for me, I started to stop voicing at studios just for that reason.
Yeah, that could be a good discouragement.
So I started building my own studio because my mom went to school to do this also, right?
Yeah,
so I started building my own studio. I started that in the earlys and then going to Jamaica now with Beres and some of the guys taking me around to different studios.
Yeah.
I seen men like Sky Juice and Bountiful. I swear to God, all these men in the same studio and one man voicing and everybody in one room.
Yeah.
A guy might be singing and somebody will stop it and say, hey, man, you try this line or try this word. And the man not saying, this is my song. And one time, all right, let you go. And they trying it. And before you know it, it's hits coming out of that boot and it blew me away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, so when I do my studio now, I was my thing was to encourage youths to come into the studio. It don't matter who he is, and all you gel and blend and develop and grow the music. You know what I mean? Because no man is an island.
Yeah.
And two heads better than one.
That is true.
If you combine your creative juices, you could come up with something. You could come up with something.
Yeah, not only that, man. Sometimes they get biased to your own music and your own song.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do. And this is one of the reasons why I was so comfortable with somebody writing a song because I wanted to step out of that box. You know what I mean? I've been myself for so many years.
Yeah.
Why not try something new, something different? Yeah, man.
Yeah. What's over the years, man? What you say is your favorite genre outside of reggae and soca? Like from time to time, okay, let me help you with this. A lot of people, I don't know if I ever said this publicly. Obviously, I love reggae and I love soca.
Yeah.
From time to time, one of my favorite artists, don't laugh, one of my favorite artists is Julio Iglesias.
Oh my gosh.
I know that's completely laugh.
Sometimes everybody's go through the different phases, so it must be just a little phase, you're going through a phase, but nothing wrong with nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I know that might be far left, but I guess what I'm saying is, outside of those genres that we kind of born and we grew up in our DNA, sometimes, you are thinking something a little different. Do you have like a different zone you go in from time to time?
I like the Afro beats, I find myself listening to more of that. And as I say, as listen to the drill rapping and thing too, I try to understand, where they're coming from and that creativity coming from. I know it's more the streets thing, and I guess that's why I like it. So it's interesting to me now. So it's like stories, that man and them is be telling stories. So I find myself into that type of music, listening to their how to put it, the environment and how they grew and that kind of that. It interests me. And the Afro beats, I like that vibes.
Yeah. Afrobeat, nice, man. Yeah. And so much different. I know I did discover this probably last year. One time I was going through a music pool catalog, and I thought I saw my name, honestly. it said Afro Bashment, right? So I don't look. I first thought it was AlonzoBash, man. I look, I said, but it says Afro Bashment, and I never actually knew that was a genre in Afro beats, which is crazy.
Yeah, they have, it's and they growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get ready to wrap it up, but I won't hold it too long. Thanks again, man. I know you had an engagement. You kind of,
that was a fun vibe. Yeah. Sometimes you had to give up a little fun, like dieting. You can't overdo it. You could miss one or two things. You wouldn't die.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. So over the couple of years, they've been trying to push soca to get soca recognized at the Grammys. What's your opinion on that? You think we're ready? What do you think? What do you think is the hold up on that?
Anything could happen once we put our mindset, but once we collaborate and everybody move forward on the same page, it will definitely happen. The thing for me is soca music is a happy music.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to get bashed with, but I feel that's why that it's so they try to limit us like that. I mean, we don't really talk about the serious topics or things that are going on in life, or what I mean? It's just happy music. It's friends, we're my friends, what we drinking, what we whining on. You know what I mean? That kind of God blessed with a party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's the only problem is a happy music, but that's our culture. I don't think, I mean, reggae get a Grammy because reggae is roots. And they're talking about things of the world. They're talking about topics. They're talking about, you know what I mean? Just like hip hop or just like R&B.
Yeah.
Talking about love, relationships, different things. But us is happy music. So that's the only worry that I have. But if we could come together as a people, I mean, and as a Caribbean people also, because, the whole Caribbean, we into the soca.
Yeah.
So if we could come together as Caribbean and push that, because the Caribbean people, we live in all over the world.
Yeah.
I think Grammy is most possible. You can't make it about me or one man or one country or this man, this soca artist is the biggest one or this. We can't live like that. We have to move forward as a body and bring everybody forward and raise everybody up, and it will be there.
Yeah,
man.
Well said. All right, final question. Is there anything you would change as far as your career in music or your personal life within, as you look back on your past journey? Say, man, I think I could have, should have, would have, or whatnot.
As I say again, God is the boss. Everything is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You're supposed to fall down. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes. You're supposed to have shortcomings. All these things are part of life, or else what we living for? You know what I mean? We can't be happy every day. We can't be succeeding every day. We have to know what it feels like to accomplish something. So if you fall down 2-3 times trying to accomplish something and you get up once and you accomplish it, I mean, that is God's blessing. So I have no regrets. We have no mistakes. It is how it's supposed to be. We just had to keep on moving forward and forging forward to perfect things. I mean, the best way that we can. You know what I mean? Because God is the boss. Yes, I.
Well, Ziggy, man, once again, how folks can get your music, and make sure and put once again your social media handle.
Well, everything is at Ziggy Ranks. Facebook, Ziggy Ranking fan page on Facebook, Instagram at Ziggy Ranks, TikTok at Ziggy Ranks, Spotify, everything is streaming. All the music is streaming right now, so you could go out and support. Even the new one, already on the platforms. You know what I mean? It's all over Spotify, TikTok. You could pull it up. It all over. So all you just go out, support the music. I put my best foot forward. You asked me to come back, so I'm humbly doing as the people ask, and put my foot forward, and we come with some music.
All right. Well, Ziggy, man, give thanks again, once again. Thank you so much for taking time out. Really appreciate it, man. Great conversation. And all the best for Carnival, or I should say, I wouldn't say Carnival, for the season 2025 and beyond.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I appreciate the questions and considering your boy. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. Listen. The last time we actually saw each other, I think it was 2019, right before 2020, because we were supposed to do a project together, and then obviously COVID came, and everything pretty much went to whatever after that. But I just want to say, man, really and truly, thank you for being you. Real talk, man. You're a very humble youth. You're always easy to reach. And you've always been the same person that I've met, like I said, a couple of years ago. And that's even outside the business. At the end of the day, you're a real person. I really, really appreciate that. And when I mean real, people say you're a real one. Yeah, you're a real. No, I'll say that, man. A lot of times, guys like us, we've been around. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, there's people, as you know, there's artists, and then there's their personality. It's sometimes like two different people.
Yeah.
And we get it, right? We get it. You gotta for the entertainment purpose. But some people are just kind of like,
they overdo it.
Overdo it. That's the best way to say they overdo it. So that being said, man, I appreciate you as an individual, and that's everything you do. But that's in the community,
Yeah.
And man. So once again, we will keep in touch. And once again, thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate it.
We had to stay humble, because what goes up must come down.
Yes, real.
Yeah. So you had to be consistent. Just be who you are, man. I mean, that's how the Father want we to be.
Yeah.
Touch people, do what we could do for people to make people happy. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters. That's what we're here for, man. Trust me.
Facts. All right, Ziggy. Enjoy, man.
Yeah, man. Bless up.
All right. Respect.
Yes, I.